dude. I'm coming back.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Give me one out. Yeah, that's nice.
Is that right?
Yeah, looks good.
Good to see you.
We're back. The Vac's back, and we're live again
We're
on
dancing.
YouTube. We're dancing. It's all happening.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. Welcome back to the show. It's me, Val. It's him, Nate. And Nate, it's been a week, hasn't it? It's happened again.
Yeah.
The whole week
sure
thing
has.
happened again. Yeah.
Sure has 7 whole days.
7 whole days.
24 hours a day.
Who the hell decided that?
A lot of things kept happening. Plenty
Go
of
on.
oxygen in the atmosphere.
Right. So that's a bit of a weather
seems.
update. Yeah, yeah.
The sun kept coming up.
That continued to do its thing.
Moon seems to be in place.
Yeah, it's still doing its regular sort of phases.
We have an ocean.
I keep seeing
We
that. I keep seeing that
Sorry.
meme though of the Pacific and the Atlantic where they meet and the waters don't mix. Have you ever seen this?
yeah.
What the fuck is going on there?
South of South Africa, right?
Well, the waters, they're completely
Wait.
different colour, and
No, that'd be sorry.
Pacific and Atlantic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so it'd be south of South America.
I don't know why.
I've also seen. I thought it was off the coast of South Africa where you have what is it? The Indian Ocean and the Atlantic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have seen that water not mixing. I don't understand it.
Is that real? Like, do you think that's legit?
It could be one of those like
Bullshit
Instagram
things?
versus
Yeah.
reality type things. Where you see the. If you ham it up and edit the fuck out of it, it's like some of these
It
pictures you
looked
get
good
from
though.
the James
It looked
Webb
like it
Space
stretched
Telescope.
for miles.
Yeah, it's interesting, and apparently it's noticeable to the human eyeball.
Well, they were all looking at it.
Yeah. So it's not a myth,
No.
but I mean, I've put cordial in a glass and added water, and but then again, when you put cordial with milk,
Okay, I've never tried that. Has anyone else
doesn't
tried
work.
that?
Doesn't
Do
work.
people do that?
Gave it a go.
Gave
Have you
it a
not given
go.
it a crack?
Mate, no. So I was not very adventurous, clearly. But you were getting into the cordial milks.
But you
You were
can see
getting
how it
into some
works. You
pretty-
can see my logic as a
I
child.
see the logic, yeah. But no,
Right? Cordial's great.
Look, I'm not going to have a go at your child self. I mean, you're probably quite young.
It sort of curdles a bit. You got to drink it quick. That's the key.
What kind of cordial are we talking? We're not talking like
Green,
cooler.
Cooler.
Oh,
yeah.
no. So why are you having lime
There
with
is
your
only
milk?
one cordial.
It's true.
Hey?
It's true, but when you're a kid, there wasn't just the one, because Cooler hadn't really established itself till we were a bit older. When we were very young, it was Cotties. Cotties was the only thing going around.
But Cotty's cooler. Isn't cooler the cooler's the flavour, right?
Yeah, but it came later. You know, you would have gone through an orange phase and a red phase before you settled on Cooler, and then it became the only cordial.
I think it was red and green for me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But why is it only cooler? Like, so red cordial doesn't have this weird name. It's not called, mauve or...
What's it called?
Raspberry.
Right,
Raspberry cordial.
right.
And then cooler isn't actually a thing.
No,
It's
they just made it
It's
up.
an esky. Yeah. So, I mean, why haven't they started... Biscoff brings out... Biscoff's a type... I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Biscoff?
Yeah. I'm familiar.
Yeah, so
Loosely
it's a-
familiar, yes.
It's a cookie type thing.
Mm.
And then they started making a spread, Biscoff spread, and now you can get everything Biscoff. You can get Biscoff fucking donuts from, what's the donut shop?
Right, the
That
same
one?
as you get a Nutella donut or a
Yeah,
jam
but you
donut.
get Biscoff milkshakes, Biscoff bloody pretzels.
They've basically
you-
done it, haven't they?
yeah, and then Cooler's never taken off. Like, you can't get a Cooler ice cream.
No, not well. You might, because they're doing that lately. Like ice cream companies and all sorts of shit. They're doing weird shit at the moment, man. You might get
Eventually, yeah, they might get to Cooler eventually.
that. I think you will.
Yeah, but I can't remember where I was going with that. So the mixing.
Yes. Of the
Yeah,
oceans.
mixing.
Yes, of the oceans.
So there must be something to do with the density of the water. Or
That's what they
something, right?
say in the little post. But what can you really get from one of like a 10-second video? It's like it is pretty weird. I'll agree with that. It is definitely weird.
So a lot of things are the same.
Right, but I'll tell you something that's fucking different.
Oh yeah.
GTA 6 got delayed, and then a trailer came out, and it's the biggest thing in the world. I think it set a record for the first video to reach 1 million likes on YouTube, so new record. It's done about 40 million last time I checked. The original trailer, which came out around a year ago...
64 mil.
Well, the original trailer that came out about a year ago
Yeah.
has something like 256 million. So in a day, it's done. It's pretty big. I've watched the trailer. I don't need a trailer to get hyped for the game. I'm pumped as can be. I can't get any more pumped.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the need for them to go so sexy on it. They were very
it was
sexy.
very raunchy.
Very sexy video, right? Trailer.
Yeah. Very raunchy. Yeah.
I did ask you to watch it before we did the show tonight, and there was a reason for that, because I think I counted at least 3 occurrences in the trailer where either Lucia, which is the female protagonist, is mounting Jason, or vice versa.
Wrapping her legs around him in one way or another.
Yeah. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, and it seems like it's going to be a really good game. And it seems like it's going to be groundbreaking in terms of the tech, because I believe that trailer was on a regular PS5, not a PS5 Pro, which go for over 1,000 baht in Australia. So not accessible to everybody to go and buy a PS5 Pro just so they can play Grand Theft Auto 6 or an Xbox whiz bang, the top, top-notch Xbox. So that's something that is very important to note, because a game that launched a few years ago now, but famously bombed on day one because it had really fucked up in terms of the scope that it laid out, that it wanted to achieve, and what it managed to push out onto the hardware that existed at the time. And all of the demos that they showed of Cyberpunk 2077 were on a PS5 Pro or equivalent of the era. Yeah. And so when people got it on day one and put it into their regular console, they got
disappointed.
Very bad times.
You got to manage those expectations, don't you? Like, you want to sell the game, right? You want to get the expectations high enough that you're going to sell some copies.
Yeah, but you don't want to
bank.
You don't want to ruin your rep. That's why GTA has been delayed.
Misrepresent. Yeah. Well, so it's been. I did see that. So 26 May 2026.
Yes.
They've put a hard date on that, though. That's what I like to see, because they were saying previously, like,
I was saying
2025.
I was saying November, like October, November. So in terms of the delay that from when I thought it would come out, we're looking at roughly 6 months more than what I thought. That's okay.
6 months in the scheme of 12 years development, or 12 years plus, whatever it is. That's fine.
Grand Theft Auto 5, which is by all accounts an old game now, 2013 it came out. Yeah. It ran amazingly on the Xbox 360. Okay, it ran beautifully on the 360. If you played the enhanced version that's out on PC now, you would be blown away by how good it looks now.
Okay.
It looks nearly as good as
I believe you.
It looks nearly as good as GTA 6 in a lot of ways.
Well, this is the thing with the GTA 6 video trailer, is that it seemed to me to be only cut sequences.
Yeah, they were all cutscenes. Yes.
Cutscenes. Yeah, sorry, cutscenes.
It was more of establishing the story and the characters.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about.
It didn't give me a sense at all of the gameplay. I just
No, they're not going to do that. That's not how they do that. That's not how they do it. So what they do is, and this is the same for every game, if you can go back to Grand Theft Auto 4, is they will introduce, first they drop the game and usually tell you where it's set. So you got the location in your head. Cool, I'm there, right? I'm in the beach. I'm in Miami, essentially. A piss take of Miami. And then they're going to tell you who's the characters, like what's the story, right? Mm-hmm. And then about probably 3 months before it drops, they're going to show gameplay. They're going to be like, here, check it out. But from the trailer, people are extrapolating, because this is what we do when we're starved of content for a year. If you're a Grand Theft Auto enthusiast, you've been absolutely starved for a year. They're going to look at every single frame of that fucking trailer and try to figure out the gameplay. They're going to try and
analyze the fuck out of it.
Analyze it to try and work out what we're going to be able to do in the game. Now, my dream is almost certainly not going to happen. Because my dream is, and I wanted this to happen, and I thought there was a chance of it in Grand Theft Auto 5, of having a surf at the beach. right? But here's what they have taken from the game so far. There's mini golf, okay? So if there's mini golf, there's probably regular golf. There's going to be fishing. Go fishing, yeah?
That's pretty good.
There's going to be...
I like that. Yeah.
It looked like...
Jet skiing.
It looked like
Sorry, jet
Lucia
ski?
was in an MMA fight at one point.
Oh, okay.
It looked like Lucia was kicking someone in the head in a MMA fight.
That was just probably one of the sex scenes with her,
Yeah,
her
with the
boyfriend.
protagonist. And so, yeah, we won't know much more until a lot closer to the release. But hey, it's exciting to see something. And you're right, the date is more important, just knowing a firm date. So people can start booking leave. You know, I plan on taking a few months just to make sure that I get, you know, a spoiler-free experience.
I'm going to be taking some paternity leave with a 1-year-old at that time. Perfect.
Grand Theft Auto time. That'll be great.
Pop her in like one of those little child jails. You know when they have like it's just the bars. Yeah, there's the low bars. Pop them in that.
Yeah, then you're both role playing. Like she's role playing as a prisoner and she's doing a great job, and you're role playing as a criminal. You know, it makes a lot of sense.
I thought you were going to say as a father.
Oh yeah, you'd be doing that as well. Yeah. You got to be always doing that. You can't role play that. That's actually
how young do you think you can be to play GTA 6? Like, I don't mean from a maturity point of view. How quickly would she pick it up if she wanted to?
Well, hang on, I got to make sure I'm understanding your question properly. You're saying,
how
quickly could she grasp the concepts?
No, play the game. Yeah, grasp the concept, play the game.
Move around.
Move around.
Do
complete
stuff.
The challenges.
Oh, complete stuff. Complete missions.
Yes,
How young would you have to be to complete a mission in Grand Theft Auto? Well, that's a good question.
6?
Yeah, probably. But that's scary, isn't it?
Because I was with a 1-year-old on the weekend actually, and she would intuitively start swiping at my watch. I've got a smartwatch, and you can scroll through different information and things on there.
Yes.
She saw a screen, and she liked it, and then she touched it, and when she realised things were happening, she kept trying to scroll on it.
So interesting.
And I was like, shit, she's 1. She can't even, she can't read, she can't talk. She just saw some like flashing lights, and she saw the movement. I think she saw the movement of the scrolling and just wanted to keep touching it.
Look, there could be multiple things going on there. I'm gonna put something forward that I don't necessarily believe, but it's a fun thing to think about. Is that I've always felt that babies were kind of useless, or they couldn't do anything. They were pretty.
Can't do a lot.
They can't do much. Yeah. But I will always witness other animals in the animal kingdom who aren't as useless at birth. Okay, yep. There are the useless ones like the birds who have to wait to get the vomited shit from their mums. Those birds are pretty lazy. They just chill out, right? And then
they do have to fly.
They do have to jump out of a nest, and they're probably like 10 days old when they do that. So yeah, we'll cut them a bit of slack. So could this be a evolutionary thing, but also a societal thing, where we essentially dumb down children, babies? We're trying to keep them in the baby state.
Maybe they can do a lot more than we think. Maybe they might be able to be bosses.
Computer programmers.
Baby Boss. I've heard of Baby Boss.
I've seen it. I haven't seen it, but I've
I reckon
seen
they
that
could
it
run
exists.
corporations.
Exactly.
We're just not giving them a chance. Yeah.
We need to lower the minimum age to work to 3 months. 3 months old, and from there you can get a job, probably.
Well, you shouldn't discriminate.
Don't hold them back, and don't discriminate.
Yeah, well, you can't discriminate on age.
No,
Give them a
that's
fair
well established.
Well, no, but I think we've talked about this before, but we are born premature.
Yes.
Humans are born premature to get the head out of the old.
Yes, because the brains got too big over time to the point where it became a problem.
Yeah, the hips don't really
lie.
Allow.
Yeah.
So we are born premature intentionally.
Yes. Is that an evolutionary thing?
Yeah, it's a constant fight between a bigger head and more development in the womb is better for the baby, but you're more likely to have an unsuccessful birth.
Yes.
So it's a balancing act.
Yes.
it's a pretty brutal balancing act, isn't it? Like,
Mm.
you know, a lot of people have had terrible, terrible birth experiences / death.
It's true.
Hmm. But anyway, I get to look forward to a birth experience soon.
Yes, you do. That must be crazy, exciting, and scary, and all the other things.
Very scary. Very
Yeah.
scary. Man,
Yeah, it'd have to be a
I'm
bit of
starting to
everything.
think about this more and more.
Yes.
I'm actually ready. I've been warned. It can be, obviously it's traumatic for the female, obviously, right? That goes without saying.
Goes without
It can be
saying.
quite traumatic for the guy though.
Uh-huh.
In that there can be a lot of blood. There can be, I'm quite powerless.
Yes.
Don't really know what's happening. I can educate myself to a certain extent.
Yes.
And
The lived experience is going to be different than whatever you read, though, right? Because it's going to be your
totally.
own
That's why I'm not.
experience.
That's
Yeah,
why
exactly.
I'm not sort of overthinking it, or people tell me their experience. But I have to. I have to
Oh
do
no,
certain
you have
courses.
to. Oh yes,
Yep.
of course. There's measures to be taken. Measures are different.
Oh, what was it my wife said to me the other day? And I said I was going to repeat it back to her. When she was giving birth, there was something along the lines of, character building or something.
Oh, good.
She'll punch me straight in the face when I
Yeah,
say it.
yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And then I thought the other day, because I've got a few friends that have given birth. What do you eat when you're giving birth?
Okay, it's an interesting. What do you eat?
Because it can
What do
go
you
for
eat?
up to 48 hours. I'm eating McDonald's, ravioli, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
I can get my
Again,
hands on.
you're preparing for you're preparing for an eventuality, right? There's a lot of uncertainty, I guess, unknowns.
There can be a bit of downtime. I've been told to bring a book.
Well, do you remember in Peep Show when Mark's kid was being born? He just went off and played arcade games and got KFC.
Yeah, that's right.
And was convincing himself the whole time that this is fine. And the longer he stayed away, the harder it was for him to go back to the room because the nurses know he's gone. Like, they know he's not just waiting outside. They know he's, left the building. So when he does go back, Sophie's in a great mood because they gave her a bunch of drugs.
Oh yeah.
And he said I'm here Sophie, and she said, oh, I'm feeling pretty good actually, all the drugs are happening now. Did you just pop out or something? And he sort of goes looks at the nurses. They all know that he bailed for a bucket and some playing Time Crisis with some fucking
Time Crisis.
yeah. So look, I'm sure it'll
But
be
I
another
can-
one.
I can-
I'm sure.
I can come over yours and play a bit of pinball, can't I?
Yeah. We'll get the pinball machine on. That's fine.
I'll crank the volume up as loud as it goes.
Mm.
Really drown out all my my worries I could get in the moment.
Mm. Oh, it'll be a moment.
Now that's 3 months away.
Mm.
That's going to be wild. I'm looking forward to reporting. Maybe we can do a live episode.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Definitely do that. Just call in. Yeah.
There's a woman down the road from me
Uh-huh.
that has had 2 children,
Uh-huh.
does not feel contractions.
Oh, okay.
Contractions are I don't know, your whole body contracting like a snake or something, squeezing out the baby. I don't know. They're quite painful. They come in
Yes.
waves.
Yeah, I've seen the movies. Yeah.
She doesn't feel a thing.
Right.
And so it's a 1 in 100,000 type condition.
Is it?
Don't know what's called. And the doctor was quite excited that he had one on the ward. It was the first one he'd had.
Yes. Very rare.
And he was telling the other women that were giving birth that he's got one back here that doesn't feel a thing. And they were yelling out, "You bitch!"
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that makes sense.
As they would. And it's their right.
Well, why did the doctor even tell them? Where's his duty of care going in there and going, oh, by the way, there's this lady next door who doesn't feel a thing. Look at her.
She's going to get mobbed out the front of the hospital by
It's like
the
a
other
player. It's like a player
mothers.
who does something really untasteful on the field, and people wait for him after the game to give him one. It's hilarious. Is there anything happening in football? I hear. Are we
what's
going to be
not
sad?
happening?
Are we going to be sad next year? Are we gonna be sad?
Oh, Harley's gone. I think Harley's
Oh.
gone. No, that's fine. We'll get lots for him. We want him to go at the end of this year.
Oh.
Is he going? Have you heard something about him going?
No, I've heard the same as you. Like I've heard
I've
the
heard
same
rumors. I've heard enough
I've heard the
rumors that there
same
must be
rumours.
something to it. Yeah. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
know,
I don't want him
know.
to hang around if he doesn't want to be here. And who would, particularly his personality, he does not want to be at this cellar dwelling team. We'll be better off without him.
I would. No, it's a better movie if he stays. It's a way better movie if he stays. Captains the club in a few years, wins a premiership. That's a way better story. It's a way better story.
No, you're right. It is. It's just that I think he'll just leave at the end of next year.
But we gave him the number 9. He's got to stay.
Oh, we did give him 9, didn't we?
We gave him 9, dude.
Nat Nui,
Ben Cousins.
Who else?
There's someone else.
We should just retire number 9.
No, retire number 9.
You've had Ben Cousins in it, mate. Nat Nui should have never have had it. I love Nat Nui. But pick another number.
Why? Nat Nui was a star, a legend.
He was all those things.
And it's a pretty sad story that he didn't get to be in the premiership team.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He bookended the whole journey. He was there for he won so many games. He did so many things. Number 9, give him number 10. You know what I'm saying? Like number 10. Fuck, man, he's a legend.
I'm pretty sure it was Shuey. I really like Shuey's career. I could be wrong about this, but I think it was him. Started his career with a spoon, bottom of the ladder spoon, with the Eagles. Ended his career with the bottom of the ladder spoon. Had a premiership in the middle.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Have we ever worked out the percentages of if you're in an AFL team, the percentage of actually like winning a grand final at any point in your career? It wouldn't be if you had to guess the percentage of players who will.
Oh, okay. If I had to guess,
Yeah.
Let me think about this logically. You've got 23 players now. I'm just going to call it 22 because it doesn't seem right. Let's forget about the sub for now because that only is a recent thing.
Yep.
You got 22 players a year that play in a premiership
That win. Yep.
that win, and
Average
so let's
career
say,
length.
I'm trying to think what do I need? What numbers do I need?
You
to
need
get
an
here?
average career length because it's any point in their career. It doesn't have to
any
be
point in their career. Okay,
Yeah,
the average
yeah.
career length is less than 50 games. I understand.
Okay, so that's 2 and a bit seasons.
Let's
It's
just
not very
say
much.
2 seasons.
Let's say it's 3 seasons. Let's
How
give them the
does
benefit of the
how
doubt.
does that
there.
help me? I can't.
Well,
remember.
because
I can't figure this out.
because if you work out the odds of winning a premiership in 1 year,
we didn't know how many.
Then you can work out if it's times that by 3.
We didn't know how many players are in the competition
No, you don't.
at any given year, don't we?
No, because you said it beautifully before. You said only 22 people every season get to be the winners of the grand final.
Yes.
So it's 22.
But out of how? But don't you need a percentage? So let's give me a second. Hear me out.
Let's have some
You
more.
want the percentage?
We'll have
So
some more numbers.
Let's say there's how many? Is there 40 players on a squad? Let's just say there's 40. All right.
But they don't get to play on premiership day.
Yeah, no. Hear me out.
Oh, okay.
You said you would hear me out.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, so 40, and then there's 18 teams. Is that right?
Yes.
What's 40 times 18? So 10 times 18 is 180. So times that by 4. It's 18 times 4, 720 players a year.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1 year, 22 of those get a, let's just say 22 again. 22 out of 720 is, what's that?
I just got my calculator up.
Oh yeah, what's that? So what's 22 divided by 720? So this is in 1
Well, it's
year.
32.7.
No, that can't be right.
Oh, no, I did 720 divided by 22.
Oh, what's 22 divided by 720?
0.03.
0.03. So 3%. That seems
3%.
3% of in 1 year. When you start the year, let's just say everyone's equal.
Yeah.
3% of the AFL player-wise will be premierships heroes by the end of it.
Right. But then could you use that across
So
3
now-
seasons? because we're going to give him 3 seasons to get it.
Yeah, so you get more of a chance because you play. So if I'm coming to the AFL,
Yeah.
I know that year, just
Yeah.
if I'm as good as anyone else,
Yeah.
just, let's not take into account if it's just a lottery and skill doesn't matter. I've got a 3% chance my first year. Chances are I'll be around for 3 years. So,
I mean, they could go up and down depending on the team, but it's percentages.
It's 3 times. Okay, it's 3 on 100 times 3 on 100 times 3 on 100, 9 on 100. I'd say you got a 9% seems. I don't understand what I'm doing.
I don't know why we needed
9%,
that many numbers to arrive at 9%. It's just 3%.
And that's not even 9. No,
it's 3.
No, that's only 3 times 3. Look, my maths, particularly under the pump like this,
of course,
is just not right.
I'm not with it either.
Something's going on. So wait, 9%. What's 9 times 3?
In 3 seasons, it's 27. But no,
27 on. Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. It's a number. It is a number, though.
There is a number.
You will give me that. Yeah,
that's a good number.
So you got more of it. All I'm saying is, if 3% one year and you got around more than 1 year, you've got more than a 3% chance.
Yes.
So I don't want to say it's.
It could just be 9%.
If they're independent events, it could just be 9%.
It is 9% if you just start it at the start of start of his career and end.
If you say that say that you're just a ball in
you got 3 chances at a 3% shot.
Yeah,
that's
it.
9%.
That's facts. That's facts, baby.
So 9%.
Don't worry about preseason. Don't worry about putting in effort during the year. I mean, you got 9%.
9% chance
go with the flow.
in 3 seasons, dude. So what about your stars? Right? What's a star?
Yeah.
How long does a star play for? How long did Selwood play for? How long is a big career in the AFL? What's 300 games? What's 300 games? It's like 15 seasons.
15, yeah, I'd say 15 seasons.
All right, so we'll go with that. So is that 15
times 3? That's taking into account that you'll miss a few games.
Is that 15 times 3%?
Yeah, what's that?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, this is what I'm trying. Yeah. It's 45.
That's 45.
It's 45%. So have you got?
Well, you know what?
Have you got a 45% chance? Have you got a 45% chance of being a premiership hero if you play 15 seasons?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It depends. That's just if you're playing at the Gold Coast Suns, things change because you're not all clubs are equal, unfortunately. But if we're just taking pure probability,
you
do. Well, that makes sense because. Like, for example, Shane Crawford, who I love a lot, he played 300 and a couple of games, I think, around that. He won a premiership in his last game, which always made me very, very happy because he said at the beginning of the year, this is going to be his last. And he was one of those unlucky players that played for a very long time and had never tasted the holy grail, as it were.
But that is going to be the vast majority of people. That is going to be their AFL experience.
What about this? I'll ask ChatGPT.
Because they're only going to... it's 45% if they play 15 years.
That have played over 300 games because there will be unlucky players.
Yeah, true.
You know what? I don't think we've done this before.
No,
Nathan Buckley didn't. Did Nathan Buckley? He didn't get a premiership, did he?
No, he hasn't.
He's won a Norm Smith, but has not won a premiership, I'm pretty sure. How many AFL players that have played over 300 games did not win a premiership in their career? Do you say thank you, please and thank you sometimes?
No.
Sometimes I do because I feel like it's going to be left in the system. Like all this information is going to be hoovered up at some point by the AI. It is AI.
And it's going to think that you're a nice guy?
Yeah, I think it may treat me with a little bit more respect.
What if it works out that you were only doing it because you thought in the future that they could become hostile?
I think that's fine. Same as believing in God because you're worried about not going to heaven.
Yeah,
God will be fine with that.
That's not fine.
As of May 2025, several AFL players have reached the significant milestone of playing over 300 games without securing a premiership. Notably, Brent Harvey holds the record for the most games played without a premiership with 432 games for North Melbourne.
Whoa, 432, jeez. Ouch.
Oh, so there's no comprehensive up-to-date list of this. it reckons. Hey, does it ever lie to you? And then you like I'll ask it something, and it'll give me a response, and then I tell AI, I say, I'll be like, "Are you sure? I heard it was this," and it'll just be like, "Oh yes, you're right."
That's really weird. It seems it seems very friendly, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Agreeable.
Hey, so did you see the Collingwood game? Who did they play on the weekend?
No idea.
What do you mean, no idea?
Oh,
Mate,
is this the?
Crisp's record-breaking game,
No, no. Oh, you were talking about this last week.
mate.
You were talking about the Mr. Reliable coming in with the goods again.
I
What
can't believe
happened?
I can't remember who was playing. Oh my god, this is. I just assumed you'd fill in all the blanks for me.
Nah, I didn't watch that one. I heard about the other one where they should have given a free kick, then they didn't.
Okay, dude, get this. Get
Yeah, go on.
this. So Collingwood Geelong,
Uh-huh.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
All right. Now Collingwood are up a vast majority of the game. Geelong, bang, bang, bang in the last quarter. They were up by, I've just got the stats here, 18 points, it looks like, maybe 17 points. Let's just say, yeah, it's around that. Nearly 3 goals with, how long's left here? 32 minutes gone in the last quarter.
What?
So it must be a long quarter. There must have been an injury or something.
Must have been 32 minutes.
Okay.
Sirens going.
Yeah, normally,
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
this is what it is. Someone
Yeah.
someone must have been injured. I mean, I didn't.
Must have.
Yeah. Anyway, now it's game over. There was less than 3 minutes left in the game. So
Uh-huh.
once the opposition needs as many goals as minutes are left, you're normally pretty safe.
Yeah.
There's Collingwood
Usually.
we're dealing with.
Usually.
So my check goes bang. They call them checkers apparently.
Checkers.
With 3 minutes to go, or 2.5 minutes to go. Then my checkers goes bang
Yes.
with a minute to go.
Oh my god.
It's game on, right? Now it's like next goal wins, or if
Or
no one
lock the
scores a
ball
goal,
down. Yeah.
if no one scores a goal, then Geelong are a tried and proven. Geelong know what they're doing in this situation. Like the
They've
fact they've
played
conceded
football
2
before.
late goals.
They
They've played
definitely have
football
done
before. This isn't the kind. If they're playing the Eagles, I'd understand if they
Yes.
choked up. Now the ball gets kicked into the forward line with about 5 seconds remaining. Fucking Jack Crisp
Yeah. Mr. Reliable.
takes a mark 45 meters out, almost directly in front.
Mr. Available.
Mr. Available.
Yeah.
Mr. Never missed a game almost in his career, or in like about 12 seasons or something.
What's the number at?
245 consecutive games.
And it's a record.
It is a record.
Yeah. And he's got the ball.
This was the record breaking game. He was
this is the
celebrated
record-breaking game.
This is the game.
Oh
this is
my
the one
God.
where he equaled it last week.
Oh my
and they
god.
did a big hoo-ha about him
Oh my
beforehand.
God.
He's got the record. He now stands alone
Yes. Well, now he
with
does.
the record. And he has a shot after the siren
Uh-huh.
to win the game in the most exceptional circumstances.
And
He misses it.
no.
He does. When it happened, I told my wife.
This
I
is
said,
not cool.
He's just gonna. This is just a Collingwood thing to do.
No.
The script is written brilliantly because this 245 games is leading up to this moment.
No. This is gutting to hear because I didn't know about this. That is
It would have been the moment. They're calling this game of the year for
Oh
starters.
my god.
They're calling it early.
Called it early. Yeah, well, fair enough.
And it would have been a moment that would have.
No,
It was a Collingwood
here's
home
the thing,
game.
right? Here's the thing, right? In about 30 years' time, Channel 7 will be running the front bar or some shit, right? And they'll have on Jack Crisp, Mr. Available. And they're going to do a bunch of gags about how, like, man, you were known as the best, like, player, like, going for just being ready to play and fit. And you held the record and you broke the record actually on this night. And they're going to show that, man. That's exactly what they're going to show. They're going to show him missing for the game.
Yeah, but look, also all
Was it
the
an easy
Collingwood
shot?
guys it's tough. It was
Tough
a long
shot.
way out. He was kicking from
Siren?
52 at the end of the game. Yeah,
Siren?
after the siren.
Oh,
After the siren.
no. It just would have been a nice movie ending, wouldn't it? Like, it's a bit of a
Oh,
Mighty Ducks finish,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it's just a Collingwood thing to do.
Oh, that's rough.
And a Collingwood home game, it would have been absolutely bananas. Oh, look, I was behind him. I was like, mate, I'd tip Geelong. I didn't care. I was like, kick this goal, mate. Do it.
Oh, of course. For the moment, it means more. You know, the moment would have meant more than the tip.
So I was just
And
there's
shame
this
on you,
article.
man, for not, like, you know, getting behind him. Like, I think you got to take some of the blame here.
I just want to touch on a few things about this Crisp situation because he was playing for Brisbane at the beginning of this streak.
Uh huh.
So the first 6 games, streak started with the last 6 games, of the 2014 season.
Where he was playing
So
for Brisbane.
he was playing for Brisbane, and he was traded to the Magpies as what has now been called the steak knives deal. He was, well, it's not the steak knives deal. He's called the steak knives in the Dane Beams deal because Dane Beams was a big Collingwood player. He was pretty decent. He went to Brisbane, if you remember him.
Are they calling him the steak knives as like one of those shows where they go, but wait, you get every person who buys in the next 15 minutes also gets these lovely steak knives.
Yeah. So
Is that the
Beams got
context?
traded.
That's gross.
Yeah, Beams got traded for pick 5 and
Yeah.
pick 25.
Uh-huh.
And they threw in Jack Crisp.
Oh, they threw it in.
They threw him
Bonus.
in.
I got a question.
So since
Has
then,
he played in a
he's
premiership?
played. Yeah. Collingwood won. Oh wait. Have Collingwood?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he has.
I think they have.
They definitely have, and he's played every game, so you know that.
Yeah,
he
you
was
know
there.
that he was in it. Yeah. How does he keep getting
Premierships.
selected?
Yeah, 2019. Wait, is that VFL?
No,
Seniors,
it can't be because he's on a streak. Streak's active.
Wait, I'm just getting their premierships up. Yeah, 2023. Yeah, okay, so he played in that. They lost 2018. I know he played that one.
So how many seasons has he played? Like 8?
This is the end of 2014. So he's played
11.
11 seasons straight. That is just unbelievable. Firstly, for not getting suspended in the current climate of the AFL is pretty hard to do because he's an inside mid, or he plays everywhere, but he's robust and he's not afraid of putting his body on the line.
But don't you think that any player who is getting reported on the reg or is in a position where they're getting reported because of actions that they do, like, you know how they've been trying to really stamp out people getting pushed into a contest and getting cleaned up in the contest, which is totally understandable. It seems like a pretty rough thing to do to somebody. It's way easier for me to stomach than the whole protect them on the way down in a tackling exchange, where it's like, oh no, you got to like safely put him on the deck. It's like, if I was being tackled, my instincts would be to like thrash around, to try and get free. And in that act, I might slam my fucking head on the deck because I'm trying to get away.
And now honestly, I think the act of thrashing around actually helps you. I think it's when you don't know the tackle's happening, that's when you get minced.
Yeah, but like,
and this happened.
It's funny because like getting minced was how people used to sell the game, both internationally and locally. Yeah, those were the moments, when people were getting cleaned up. Those were the wild things. It's the same in baseball, man. When there's a big collision at home plate, like that's pretty much as rough as the sport gets. Is getting collided at home plate. Like, I've seen it. I've seen it on multiple occasions. I've seen people get very upset. I've seen punch-ons. I'm not talking about on the telly. I'm talking about with my eyeballs.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You ever been involved in any of those punch-ons?
No. No, I wasn't punching.
No. Hey, so when Crisp's streak began, so the last time he missed a game was 12 July 2014.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. Especially for a game where you're likely to get injured, you're likely to get reported, like you said, it's nuts. It doesn't make any sense.
Injuries and even just rested.
Yeah,
Even just rested.
he's
Players
still
get managed all the
still
time.
getting in the squad every week. They're still
Yeah,
picking
and he's good.
him.
He's not getting dropped.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, he's being selected every week.
Unbelievable. And it's a quality team as well. And no one really knows who he, like a lot of people, he played 200 games. A lot of players, a lot of people don't know who he is. So on 12
That's true,
July,
though. Why is that?
Because he wasn't prominent like Pendlebury and Sidebottom. There's a lot of good players around him, but he was still good enough to hold his place.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes those guys get rested. Like,
So
your stars
last
get
time
rested.
he missed a game, I'm just going to give you some facts here.
Yeah,
Paul
yeah.
Roos was coach of Melbourne.
Wow, that is ancient history. Yeah, yeah.
Mick Malthouse was coach of Carlton.
Carlton. So this is after Collingwood?
Yeah.
Yep,
Tony Abbott was Prime Minister.
yep. Believe that.
Trump was the host of The Apprentice. Bontempelli had played 10 AFL games.
I'm ashamed to say how much Apprentice I've seen. Like how much of
Really?
both the US Apprentice and the UK Apprentice with Alan Sugar, where he's the boss and he's just a prick. Like, that's their whole thing. Like, they go, hey, can you like speak business prick to these guys? Like, just they're gonna be pricks. All you got to do is be a prick back. It's a piece of piss. It's actually a really good show because for me, it's like the birth of hate watching, because nobody on the show is good. Like, they're all wankers. Like, all the contestants are fuckwit wankers, and obviously the host's a wanker. And like, on both the US
You
and
want
the UK.
Trump to fire people as well and be rude to people, is that right?
That's it. Yeah. Well, because we're egging him on.
Yeah.
He gets to say you're fired to someone, which is really aggressive. Like, every week. He's gonna fire someone every week. It's a powerful idea for a show. Unfortunately, it went the way of every reality TV show, which is it went the way of celebrityism, which was, how Big Brother stopped being like interesting because people were sick of regular people, so they needed to do Celebrity Big Brother, where the celebrities are barely celebrities, but they're putting them in because they're slightly more interesting than you, and then they go, that's because they made all the cash off the people who were giving up, their lives for free, for the chance to win $1 million. Now they've got the money to pump it back into these celebs. So you got Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, Celebrity Apprentice, which is worth watching even now because of some of the guests that are on it, like Dennis Rodman. Tom Green was on there with Dennis Rodman, which is nuts. There's been a lot of good characters who have come through those shows. And it's just funny.
I understand why they would put celebrities or B grade, C grade celebrities into the Big Brother house in these future seasons, but a lot of people made themselves B grade celebrities from the first season.
Yes, so they're a different grade, aren't they? They sort of were celebritized by reality television to the point where they can now show up on a reality TV show of the same nature, the same ilk, with the word celebrity attached to it now, which is funny.
Was that guy on the radio Fitzy? Was he in the first Big Brother?
Yes.
Fitzy.
Yes. And he
Who
also
else was
played
in
football for like the Crows.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me run through.
Nathan and Nat in the morning or whatever.
Oh,
Nathan was on Big Brother.
Of course. I knew there was another radio guy. Yeah, okay.
No, radio's good. Like, they get into radio. Yeah.
So back on 12th of July 2014, Djokovic had only won 7 Grand Slams.
Holy shit.
He's now got 24. LeBron James had just left Miami to return to Cleveland.
Have you ever seen like LeBron in the first NBA game he was ever in?
Yeah, I have.
That's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
looking at that and being like, oh, that's how long this mother F has been playing for.
And he was great.
Oh, of course.
Have you watched Faker's first competitive league game?
Oh, is it good?
Man.
He's
is
probably
it
playing.
good?
He's probably playing StarCraft on the side. You know that, right? He's probably clicking off to StarCraft just to have a quick play.
So the thing with Faker is he was the top. What do you call it? Where you just play solo queue?
Oh yeah. He was the best solo
He was the
queuer in the
top-ranked
world.
solo
Yeah.
queue, and solo queue doesn't translate well into this team environment where there's a
Well,
lot of.
I disagree, and I've heard this
No,
before. But
yeah,
I want to say this.
Apparently,
I want to say
yeah.
this: if you're the best solo queue guy in the world, you get there because of your team. So his adaptability
No,
with
but
any
solo queue
team,
is your. Oh, I see. I see. With anyone,
he can make
yeah.
any team win because he's that good.
Because he carries. Yeah.
Exactly. So if he gets in there with 4 other guys who know what the hell they're doing, and that's how the ranking system works.
Yeah,
like he doesn't play against other. Like, have you ever watched a league streamer?
I know what
have you ever
you're
watched
saying.
one?
Yeah.
They're in queue for about an hour and a half every
to get a
game because they can't get a game.
They're
How
too
rough
good.
is that?
They're trying to pair them with someone of equal skill.
Exactly, and they can't find them. And when I play ARAMs, which is a much more casual game mode, it still does its best to sort of matchmake us with people who have a similar skill level. And when you...
Mate, you're the best Vel'Koz in Oceania.
I'm in the top 55.
Yeah, you take that. So Faker played Nidalee in the mid lane, which this is back in probably 2014. I don't.
That's a good shout. That is a good shout. I think that could be accurate.
Around that, so it could have been, and that's a long time in esports.
Oh, it's an eternity.
It's eternity. That is eternity. He is the Jack Crisp of esports.
He's the LeBron James. Like, he's literally the LeBron James. Like, he will go down as one of the greatest of all time. Your crispy boy, as good as he is and as record-breaking as he is, he's not going to go down as the best of all time. This is a different metrics.
He'll have the longevity, definitely. But Faker's got the rings.
Faker's got everything. Yeah,
He's got the rings and the longevity. He's got all the score. He's got all the scoring titles. He is the undisputed GOAT.
That is crazy, isn't it? That while while he's playing in the last 5 years, people have regarded him as the standout best player in the world.
There is no question. There's absolutely no question. They call him and they'll say, like, they'll just literally be doing a call and say, like, and the GOAT.
Yeah, he's like a movie star in Korea. He's a massive movie star.
So, this is
by
back in the days...
movie star, I just mean he can't walk down the street. He'll get mobbed.
No way. He looks like an Asian Harry Potter. He was versing a... Who's that buggy type character, the purple one that jumps around? Kha'Zix.
Cockroach.
This is back when you're playing Kha'Zix mid lane.
Yeah, right.
Pretty weird times.
Yeah, of course.
And apparently when you upgrade, I think one of your abilities, I've never played Kha'Zix, but you can upgrade your, like, one of your QW or E. I think it's part of your ult or something. You get to upgrade one of those ones. There's this when you upgrade it, there's this very small time where when you're CC'd, you see it's self CC when you upgrade it. It just, you have to stay put for, like, a fraction of a second whilst it does the upgrade. Anyway, the guy, and he's versing, I think, the most accomplished or one of the most illustrious accomplished mid laners. And there was a big thing because everyone knew he was the top of solo queue coming in, but solo queue doesn't translate well into the big time apparently. And
so they thought.
He identified this moment.
Yeah, the animation.
The animation when he was upgrading the thing and just executes him under his own tower. And you should hear the commentators. You have to watch this game, man.
Yeah.
You should hear the commentators.
They lose their minds.
They're just like, what? They don't even know what's happened. They think that he's
cheating or something. Something's broken.
They think something's glitched. They think he's that the opponent has done something. But then they realize when they go back, they go, oh, he's actually identified this. Yeah, he knows. He can see. He can sense this coming. He's got the anticipation. Anyway, so he does that. Then he goes down. I think he's 5-0 pretty early on. He goes down and just, like, wipes some people in the bot lane. It's one of those most dominant performances, and to come in and do that just sort of it's a part of the legacy, a part of the hype of Faker. To come in and have a game like that, a dominant game,
makes sense.
Was pretty exciting. But I do recommend you watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to find that. So just for some more, so that was his first
competitive game.
First competitive game ever.
His first, like, the first
LCS?
What do you call it? The LCK.
Okay.
The Korean one.
All right, I'll have to check that out, man. I'm excited. I'll watch that a bit later.
And then I'll send you another video I like, and maybe I'll put it in the comments section so other people can have a look. My favorite thing to do is look up videos of when the callers, commentators,
they get excited.
Get really excited.
Yeah, They do get very excited. It sort of resembles a horse race sometimes because of how fast
Yeah.
things are happening and how fast they have to talk. And just like AFL, the commentators have to sort of work together, but at the same time know when this guy just needs to go and like smash out every single ability that they're casting right now. And I'll be honest, like I've been playing this game for like more than 12 years and I still don't know how competitive works, in the sense that like I watch it, I know what all the champs do. I don't know what they're doing right now because this doesn't seem real. Their cooldowns seem non-existent. They have they just seem to me to just be always casting, always going, always doing stuff, flashes up, all this, like ready to rock. This is happening.
A team fight is so hectic.
Oh, they're amazing.
A pro team fight, everyone's flashing everywhere, and no one knows what's going on. I don't actually know how you focus on one thing, because in a moment, in 5 seconds, everyone unloads all their abilities, all their summoners.
Man. It depends, right? Because
no, but they
because,
can.
No,
Yeah,
because
they
that's what we would do as like nerds, right? Who don't really know how it works. Is we would just blast everything in the first few seconds, right? But that's maybe not how the pros do it. Maybe they are way smarter. And
don't tell me they hold their flash.
This is what I'm talking about.
Till they
man.
need it.
They're
No
crazy.
way.
They're crazy.
No way.
Because like if you flashed like accidentally at the start of a game in a pro game, like they're going to recognize.
That's game
first
over.
of all, they
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you flashed.
Yeah.
And they are just going to go, okay, so without flash, I can kill him if I flash. So all I have to do is land XYZ flash, and he can't get away. And you know what I mean? Like, there's just these
Totally. It
these
changes the game
calculations that are happening in
completely.
your
Yeah,
head
yeah.
times a million. And he's playing StarCraft at the same time and whooping someone else's ass. It sort of reminds me of how when Max Verstappen finishes an F1 race, he like logs onto the simulator and like plays in an online championship tournament and wins again. So like the guy just, he's a gamer, basically. He's just a gamer. And it's amazing that he's like, yeah, I just won a race. I could be out like, drinking and stuff, but I guess I'm just going to just, I don't know, just have some fun, hone my craft some more.
He's basically Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars 1.
No, he's not anymore though, is he? Because he's not really in the contention this year, is he?
Isn't he?
No, not really.
What's happened? Is his car no good?
That's primarily the reason. Yeah, someone else has a better car now.
But
it was the Red Bull era for a few years, and now it's a different era. And
we're just cheering for engineering.
That's a
Aren't we
great.
just-
That's a
isn't it
nice
just an
phrase.
engineering
It's a nice
competition?
term phrase.
I
Look,
like-
there
I
are
like the
there
fact there's
are
an
there are
engineering
people
component.
who, it's like NBA, right? I've always said that if you live in the United States, you support the team. Okay, you support a team. If you live outside the United States, you tend to follow players. So like you might be a LeBron fan, or you might be a Doncic fan, or whatever, right? And if they go to another club, you might end up going to another club as well, because like you're a really big fan of, like, you can't follow the whole sport, so you're like, I like this guy. You know, it's sort of like a reason that they would do these kinds of trades. So in that same vein, we weren't talking about NBA though.
No, it's talking about the engineering in
Yeah.
F1.
So there are people who would follow teams who are like, I'm a Ferrari guy, I'm a Mercedes guy, like I've got the hat that says Red Bull on it.
Yes.
I like the Red Bull team. I'm a team guy,
I like
And
Red
then
Bull.
there'll be people who like Lando Norris, or they like Max Verstappen, and they'll follow them when they change clubs or teams.
Yeah, I'm a Ricardo guy.
I was always a
Was
Ricardo
a
guy,
Ricardo guy,
big time Ricardo guy, yeah, for sure. And people will vote on national lines as well, like it just has to be an Australian, and most of the country's on board with him now. Who gives a shit where he's driving? We support the Aussie guy, right? That's pretty standard, and he's doing quite well this season. He's doing quite well. He could be our greatest F1 racer of all time.
Wow.
This Piastri guy, he could be. He could be. Could be. It's one of those. He's like a crispy. He's like a crispy. A crispy. So it's exciting. Getting a bit of street race cred for the Aussies.
Yeah, okay. No, that's good. That's good. No, I don't follow it, but I like that. I like any Australian doing something, taking it to them.
Yeah, because we're a pretty small country in terms of our population. So anytime we're represented on the world stage is pretty rare, and it should be, because we don't have the population to support it. Anyway, on the weekend,
But for some reason, we just swim like an absolute shark.
On the weekend, Jack Della Maddalena is fighting
Jack
for the
Della Maddalena.
UFC title.
Really? Which one? What's he fight
Welterweight, I
at?
think.
Okay.
And
Some kind of medium weight.
He's a local boy.
Oh yeah, no, he's one of my contemporaries. Remember?
Yes, he's one of your contemporaries.
Wait, was he? Was he one of the guys that trained out of?
Oh, we didn't work that out. He could
the
be.
Melville?
He could
Okay,
be.
okay.
Yeah. So he's fighting for a title on the weekend. It's going to be big.
Who's he fighting?
I know
Jack
this.
Della Maddalena. Oh, Bel
Oh, yeah,
Muhammad.
yeah.
Bella.
Bilal.
Bilal.
And you know how
Muhammad.
people bet on this shit.
Oh yeah.
So Bilal's come out in a pre-fight press conference or in a phone call or something, a media thing, and said that he's not going to take him down. He's going to box him. It's going to be an all-out brawl, right? And that's what
Mr. Muhammad.
Yeah, he's doing that.
Okay.
He's playing that.
Yeah.
He's doing that move. Whether or not he takes him down is kind of like, you know, I think when Conor McGregor fought Nate Diaz, he thought they were going to stand and bang. You know, that's what I think both fighters thought. And then when Conor tried to take down on Nate, that was like the turning point of the fight. That was like him acknowledging to Nate, "Hey man, I think you've got me like on the feet. I think you've actually I think you've lit me up a bit here. I think I'm a bit of strife. I need to take you down now." And I remember there was an interview with Nate Diaz, and he says that he remembered thinking, "Oh, so you're a wrestler now? Oh, okay. Oh, you want to wrestle?" He was that much bigger than Conor to think back that, you know, like Conor looked good at welterweight. He looked like buff, but Nate Diaz can like Nate Diaz didn't need to fight at welterweight.
He's
He just
a
didn't want to cut.
triathlete. You're fighting a triathlete.
He didn't want to cut weight. That's what happened. Nate Diaz fought most of his his career at lightweight, and he would have been cutting to get there. He wasn't cutting at welterweight, man. Surely not.
So this Muhammad fellow is the welterweight champion. I guess that's who you have to be fighting to win the championship.
Not necessarily.
belt.
It can be vacant, but it's not vacant.
Mate. Oh, I was just looking who they've beaten. So man, Jack's gone on a tear. He lost his first two fights, and then he went 17-0.
Are you talking about his first two fights that were outside of the UFC?
Yeah, first
What a
one
start!
was in Perth.
What a crazy start! Like you go out there and you're like, yeah, I think I want to be a fighter. You go out there, you lose, and then you go, I still think I can do this, and then you lose again. And how were they? Were decisions, or did you get knocked out, or what happened?
No, he got TKO'd.
Okay,
punches.
That's knocked out.
His first fight, yes, and then a rear naked choke.
So
submission.
So he hasn't gone to a decision and lost. It's not like they were definitive losses. And then, fast forward, you're fighting for the UFC welterweight championship. He's gone on a crisp. He's crisping. He's crisping all the way to a UFC welterweight title shot.
Yeah, it took him a while to get into the UFC as well. He was 11-2 in his first UFC, and he's only gone to 3 decisions in his life. 3 out of 19,
which is unlike, like for a wrestler, that'd be pretty rare because they're just traditionally more decision-y than people who claim to be knockout artists. But it should be exciting.
And he's got performance of the night. Every fight except for his first UFC,
who Jack has,
that's
crazy.
The Kevin Holland one, which was recently. So he's got 5 out of 7 performance of the night.
That's crazy. That's good percentage. He didn't fight recently because he had like a broken arm or something. He was meant to fight on the UFC Perth card that went a while back, but he got removed from that card. Get up him. Basically, get up him.
All right, last time Jack Crisp missed a game. Instagram was 4 years old.
Wow.
TikTok did not exist.
TikTok did not exist. It's true.
Candy Crush was 2 years old.
Oh, jeez.
Gillan McLaughlin had just been appointed AFL CEO. Richmond had not won a premiership in 34 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, isn't there?
Pat Cummings had played 1 test for Australia.
GTA 5 had only been out for a year.
Really? It was 2013. That's actually the biggest one of them all.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Grand Theft Auto only just came out a year ago. Yeah, big.
Tom Brady had only won 3 Super Bowls Finished with 7. Gout was 6 years old. Have you seen
I've
what
seen it.
Gout's doing?
I've seen it. And I've never heard in my life so much about wind-assisted records because it seems to be the next question that people ask whenever someone says someone has set a record. Someone will go like,
well, you
wind
can't
assisted?
set a record. You can't set a record.
You can't. No.
Well, you could have a wind assisted whatever, but
Yes.
you're not going to set a world record. Like you have to. It can't be a windy day.
It can't be windy.
Can't be windy.
What if the wind is strong and
can't
in
be
your
windy.
face?
Oh, that's fine.
Is it?
It can be windy. Can be windy.
It can
be windy.
Is that
Depends
how
on
it
the wind
works?
direction.
Does it?
It can't assist.
Yes.
But then what you want is
Indoor arena?
or you want no wind, right?
No wind.
Right? For the purpose of the
No.
like wherever they're measuring the wind, you want there to be no wind, but you want it to be in a little bit of a
Wind
tunnel.
pocket. Yeah.
Wind pocket, a little pocket of wind.
You know what I think you want? This is what I think you want. You're on the blocks, right? Big gust of 3.1 meters per second wind comes in, right? Bang, that comes in, and you're like, yeah, that's just getting ready, yeah. And then you get a steady 1.9 meter per second wind the whole time on your back, right?
Okay.
It's exactly
Is that legal?
It's 0.1 under.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then people will go, yeah, did you hear about that world record though? The guy had 1.9 meter per second wind the whole time. It's literally a perfect run in terms of how much wind you can have assist you. So like, we're just going to keep moving, just indoor only, no more outdoors.
It's fine. It's a bit like marathons.
Yes.
The wind doesn't matter in a marathon. It can be the windiest or the least wind day.
Right.
It doesn't matter because you're running around in circles kind of thing. You know, you're going everywhere. You can't control the wind for 2 hours.
So you reckon there's some guy out there, a marathon runner, who's not as skilled as the rest of them, but he's like Bodie in Point Break, and he's like the perfect storm is coming,
and the winds
will
assist him
happen.
somehow. It keeps changing direction as he turns. The wind kicks around behind him.
But he's been chasing this perfect windy day marathon for his whole life. You know, it's lining up. You know what I did see the other day? I saw a 100-meter race with people who were like 90 years old. There was a 90-year-old running. There was a 71-year-old running in the same category, and they were gunning it.
I tried to run. That's amazing. I want to know more about that. But I tried to put that in, to give that some context.
Yes.
I went down to the park 2 weekends ago and tried to do some faster run-throughs because I want to work on my speed rather than my endurance. And I pulled my quad.
Yeah. No, these old blokes were not pulling their quads, man. They were...
I'm 38 years old.
Oh, mate. It's an
these guys
travesty.
are 90. What? 90 plus, you were saying?
Well, there was... The guy who won, I think, was only 71. But there was a 90-year-old in the field. He came dead last. But John Boy, who did the video where I saw it in, he was commenting that, like, this guy needs his own category. Like, they need a 90-year-old plus category because this guy would dominate. Like, this
He'll
guy
be
would
the only guy,
the king.
though.
Yeah, the king. Yeah. But still doing it, still gunning it. You should have seen it. Should have seen it, man.
Oh, I'll check it out. That sounds amazing. I want to be that guy. I think that's pretty cool.
You think
personally,
that's cool?
I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, but the thing about the marathons I was going to say is the biggest thing is elevation, right?
Yeah.
So
You
all the
get
world
more tired.
records are pretty much only run it in one place. Not really. There's a couple of places, but
Yeah.
mainly in Berlin. That's the dream run because it's got the least elevation.
But there was a record that was broken semi-recently at a different place that sort of bucks that trend a little bit. Because they did it in, Boston or something, or the New York or something.
I don't know which one it is, but I remember looking at this once, and there was one other place that seems to feature
Yes.
a little bit in the world record. So yeah, it must be relatively flat. But normally when people do the Berlin Marathon when they're trying to do a PB, a lot of people will do it because it's a fast course.
Do you think they'd run faster if they did if they did it in Spain one year when the Bulls were running, and they're like, all right, we're also doing the marathon that day? Do you think they would run faster if there was a bit of incentive that there are Bulls coming?
Yes, they would run faster for that brief moment of time when the Bulls are behind them. But then
do you think
an
adrenaline rush is handy in a marathon though? Probably not.
No.
Because it's only going to help you very short term, and you're probably going to fuck yourself up.
If that helped, people would probably go out 100%, get a bit of a lead.
Yeah, and probably like, try and up their adrenaline before the marathon. You would get your coach to like scare you or something, go like rah in your face just to try and get your heart pumping a little bit. And I was like, holy fuck, like you scared me there. My adrenaline's pumping a little bit.
They probably do try and get
Give us all your fucking money.
Yeah. I mean, adrenaline would be really handy.
No,
in 100. Sorry, in 100.
in 100 meters.
Yeah, so you probably want
get psyched up.
Yeah, if you can physically imagine that there is some kind of, I don't know,
terrifying encounter,
giant pug behind you that's
going to murder you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to do a new segment.
Yeah, drop the banner.
Threat Horizon. I haven't thought about the name.
Oh, it's a good name.
I'm gonna start with Threat Horizon.
Great.
They're looking ahead to identify emerging risks.
Potential. Yeah. Right. Cool. Great.
Because I think we like this stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
We like a lot of this.
Yeah.
Like
there's a few things that we can chuck on the list. Oh yeah, that's one
solar
of them.
flares.
The end of
volcanoes.
the solar system as we know it. Just with time. If we had a couple of 4.2 billion odd years on it, I mean, we got a big threat there. What do we got on? What's on the threat detector?
Well, spiders.
Maybe threat detector's good. Threat detector.
This is not your conventional end of the world situation, but spiders. I think we need to take a good look at spiders.
All right, good.
Okay, I don't want to unnecessarily stoke your arachnophobia any more than I have to. I know I'm a little bit funny with spiders.
Yeah, no, look, I haven't seen a lot of them. I haven't seen a lot of the dangerous ones.
This isn't born from prejudice against spiders either.
No.
I think spiders are valid and needed contributors to the ecosystem.
Yes, but stop with the threatening. Is that what you want?
So I respect them. But I heard a fact, and it sort of put them on my radar. Okay, so how many spiders do you think it would take to take you down? Like, how many spiders does there have to be in your region before you're concerned?
If there was 6 spiders around or more, and they look semi-organized, I'd think that's the minimum where I'm like, this is a problem. Because if there was like 4 of them and they started running at me and they were in some sort of formation, I think I'd be able to sort. I could sort them out. I'm either going to get the bug spray and just spray the shit out of them, and if they don't die from the poison, they'll die from the asphyxiating nature of whatever the shit that is going into their bodies. No matter whether it's toxic or not is irrelevant at that point. I'm just going to put that much. If I think they're coming to kill me, if that's what I think, I will take drastic action.
Well, there are estimated.
I know this one, I think. Yeah. Go on.
To be 29 million spiders per square kilometre on the Earth. There are about 55 humans per square kilometre on Earth. Spiders outnumber humans 500,000 to 1.
Oh, okay. So if they did get,
are you concerned now?
Yes. That is means.
I think we're sleeping on spiders a little bit.
We're too worried about the sharks, and there's only like 20 of them left. But we're sleeping on the spiders.
Yeah. We have just let this spider situation get out of control.
Yep. But don't you think, because people who are alarmists are gonna say first, next thing you're gonna want to get rid of the bees because they sting you, right? And yes, they do sting me. And yes, I have seen My Girl with Macaulay Culkin. And was he allergic to bee stings? Yes, he was. And did he die in the movie that was meant to be a kids' movie? Yes, he did.
Spoiler.
So, do bees deserve to live? The answer is obviously no, but I've heard that getting rid of them has some pretty major repercussions upon the rest of the earth, so we're going to have to put that one on the back burner for now. But spiders are well and truly in the crosshairs.
We don't need this many.
Okay, cut it down a bit. Yeah, a bit of a spider cull.
Because if they do get organised, if they, we're talking now about whether there's potential for humans to communicate with telepathy and other things like that.
Right,
somehow.
Is that on the table? That's on the table.
Well, if
now.
they start getting this sorted out, we are in big trouble. Big trouble.
Yeah.
And then I heard spiders can survive for hours underwater by entering a self-induced coma. So we can't even flood the earth. Like if things go wrong, we could always flood the place again.
That seems to work.
High.
Yep.
Yeah, that works. Usually. Yep. Take a couple of them on the boat just to quell their numbers a little bit. Yeah. Just bring them back down to earth.
It's pretty drastic moves, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I think that
just
what do they outnumber us by?
500,000 to 1?
500,000.
Half a million.
Wait,
half a million.
500,000 to 1.
500, yeah, half a million
Yeah.
to 1.
So if there was 500,000 spiders in my house,
So you were worried about 6. You thought 6 could be an issue.
6 could be an
We're talking about,
six.
I've got to take on...
A coordinated 6. A coordinated 500 million, no chance. 0 chance. I don't have
500,000.
500,000.
Yeah.
500,000, it's relevant. They've got me. They'll just encase me in spiders. I've seen them.
Yeah, they'll just death roll you.
Yeah, I've seen it. You've seen it, but the animal kingdom's pretty wild. Have you seen what happens to like a queen bee who's like not doing her job properly?
Yeah, she gets rolled.
Yeah, they roll her.
They ball her.
They warm her up.
Yeah, get her all hot.
Yeah.
They just make a what would you call it?
It's got to be some level.
Bowling or something.
It's got to be some sort of asphyxiation going on as well, right?
Yeah.
Like they're literally surrounding her and basically
like a meatball made out of bees.
It's sort of like a sauna.
It's an arancini bowl, really. And the cheese is the queen bee.
And then they pick a new queen by selecting a certain type of bee. It's either I think it's a drone, not a worker bee. It's like a drone bee.
Bro,
and they give it the royal jelly.
Bees are so
they
weird.
give it the royal jelly, and
yeah,
it fattens them up, and they become the queen.
Do you know you can get royal jelly pills at your pharmacy?
Oh,
you can get
Are they good?
royal jelly. I've thought about it. I don't know what it does. I don't know if I want to become a queen bee, though.
Like Beyonce.
Yeah, maybe she's had a little bit too much royal jelly.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And then, last thing about the spiders is that a bite from a Brazilian wandering spider will give you an erection that lasts for hours.
Sorry, say that one again. Just need to get my notebook out. Okay, so when did they work that out?
Look, it was probably
do you just
someone
want
who was a bit short on Viagra.
Do you just want one of those in your house? Like a pet one?
A pet one, yeah.
A pet one.
So whenever I need to go and I want to have a big night. If I'm not performing the way I want to perform.
Yeah, if you just want a bit of a boost.
Do you imagine like a girl coming back from your place and she's telling her friends, she's like, he's got this spider that bites him and gives him a boner.
It is weird when you say it like that. But when you say, hey, look, this is just science at work. This is just some really good science happening here. They've been doing it for ages.
It's more natural than Viagra.
Yeah. Sounds all right.
And people seem to be fine with...
Oh, does it do anything else, this poison, before we go and recommend it over Viagra? People are like, Brazilian spider. Brilliant. Get it.
Brazilian wandering spider. I mean, there's probably some side effects, but the primary side effect is
like a wanking
big old boner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I wonder
no, but it's good to know that not all spiders are trying to kill you. Some of them are just trying to give you a raging boner.
Oh, they're pretty. Actually, I don't like this. They're pretty gnarly looking.
Are they deadly? Are they deadly? Are they deadly?
Oh, it puts 4 of its arms up in the air and the other 4 are down. Nah, this
come
is
on,
not
man. That's okay.
okay.
That's okay. We can get that past the keeper.
Okay, let's see what Wikipedia has to say about this erection business. I'm just going to search erection.
You're just going to search erection.
Oh, okay. So aside from causing intense pain, the venom of the spider can also cause...
So it's not 100% guarantee?
Priapism in humans. Erections resulting from the bite. Priapism is a condition in which a penis remains erect for hours in the absence of stimulation or after stimulation has ended.
Great.
There are 3 types: low flow, high flow, and intermittent. Wow, there's an artist's illustration, but it's like an old school. It's like 1,000 years old, and looks like a Renaissance painting. And this guy has
penis
a tripod. Yeah, erections resulting from the bite are uncomfortable, can last for many hours, and can lead to impotence.
It's a twofer.
That's ironic.
It's a twofer.
That's ironic.
Yeah. We're
telling people that this is
It's contraception as well. It's long-term contraception, and it's Viagra. And it's also very uncomfortable. Can you die?
A component of the venom, X2-6 is being studied for use in erectile dysfunction treatments.
Oh,
So if it gives a human an erection that lasts for hours,
yeah.
what does it do to its prey? I know that there's different biological and biochemical processes going on.
It could be the same. It could be similar to like a vampire, right? You know how vampires like kiss you on the neck and then they bite you, and then you sort of you're having some sort of like sexual experience, but what's actually happening is they're just murdering you, but you think you're having a great time. This could be similar. They could be just giving them raging boners.
Sorry. A 23-year-old market worker was bitten on his hand in Sao Paulo, Brazil, while moving a bunch of bananas. The specimen measured 3.5 centimeters long and this is not his dick.
No.
And 6 centimeters with its legs.
Yeah.
It was reported that the bite was extremely painful, accompanied by sweating and hairs standing on end. It's not the only thing standing. The victim additionally reported pain radiating to his chest.
Oh, no.
Increased heart rate.
Oh, no.
Dizziness.
Oh, this is all bad now.
Nausea, coldness, drooling, vomiting, and an immediate erection.
Yeah.
Silver lining.
Silver lining. Yeah, you took a while to get there, but it doesn't sound good, does it? Doesn't sound worth.
Doesn't sound worth.
I don't think I'm keeping it as a pet. You know,
it reminds me of peyote or whatever it is.
Sure.
What's the DMT one?
Yeah,
where
peyote,
you get really sick.
Well, a lot of people vomit.
Ayahuasca.
No, but peyote's the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember John Safran versus God? It was a TV series in the early 2000s. Came out on DVD as well. John Safran went and took peyote in fucking New Mexico or something.
Did he?
Yeah, and he was just vomiting and having a terrible time. And they tell you when you have those brews that, hey, you're going to have a terrible time. That's part of it, I think. I mean, could you request from the shaman, hey, could you do my brew just sans vomiting? He'll be like, hey man, do you want your brew like sans psychedelic experience or what? Like, anyway, so I guess it's just that potent. It's just that potent. That's the part where
it doesn't surprise me that there's some side effects, right? You don't get an erection.
But what are you vomiting? Like,
effects.
what are you vomiting? Are you vomiting up undigested drugs at that point, or is it just spent shit that you don't actually need anymore? Like, I'm wondering whether or not they are robbing themselves essentially of the full experience, or whether or not it's just part of the process. I don't know. Don't know the answer to that.
I mean, we both have full medical degrees, do we not? Like, we should know the answer to this.
Sure.
This must have been in there somewhere.
I think it was day 3 or something.
Yeah.
I was a bit...
So there's one other thing that happened during the week I want to cover.
Yeah.
This is big news. It's not the election.
Oh, that happened as well.
Did you hear about a purportedly 14-year-old bloke scoring the second fastest T20 in history in the IPL?
14-year-old?
A 14-year-old
in the IPL?
Yes.
Why do they do it? How can they possibly do that?
You got to watch his highlights. It is
pretty wild.
Nuts. So the Chris Gale has scored a 31 ball 100. He's got the fastest. This guy comes out, but there's some controversy over his age, I hear. He's reported to be 14, but then someone else has come out. This is just someone else told me this. There's some controversy that he claimed in like some video or something previously. He claimed to be a different age, but he's young. Like, he's young as any. Like, he may be 16. I don't care if he's sub 18. He's a baby.
Yeah, and a gun and a gun by the sounds of it.
Absolute gun. So Chris Gale, I don't know if you've heard Chris Gale's self-proclaimed, his nickname is Universal Boss. He calls himself Universal Boss, and the media's just run with it.
What does that mean?
Don't know. He's just boss of the universe, just everything.
Oh,
you name it.
Wow. But
they're calling this guy. I can't remember his name. I couldn't pronounce it. They're calling him Baby Boss immediately. Because he is number 2 on the list at the moment, so that makes sense.
Well, he's the big boy now, isn't he? Isn't he the big boss?
Well, he hasn't taken over the big dog. The big dog's still... the universe boss is still number 1. I was just made me think what I was doing when I was 14. It makes me think what I'm doing now.
Well, wasn't there like I can't remember how old they were, but they could be 10. It was like a 10-year-old became the first person to do 2 consecutive 900s on a skateboard, and they did it in front of Tony Hawk. So like,
That's right.
people keep getting they just keep doing gnarlier shit. This is what I was talking about earlier at the start of the episode.
Takes us back to earlier. Yeah, don't
it's what
assume.
I mean. Yeah,
don't
yeah.
assume.
Like, you know, maybe they can do literally anything.
I'm going to give my little girl a Rubik's Cube just straight out the bat and be like, figure this out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure to get her to do things that will be helpful from her, like a development point of view. I think every parent has this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if I just give her a phone and an iPad, she'll just become like a dad. Heaven forbid. But, you know, do I want to give her that golf club? You know, is that how much,
I mean, how much autonomy can they really have in the beginning anyway? They're going to rely on you for that stimulus in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's very strange because I think when you're younger and you think about the concept, you're like, yeah, man, give them a baseball glove and fucking tell them that if they can't hit the target 3 times, they don't eat dinner, and like, you know, we'll have
some pressure.
You know, we'll have the best pitcher catcher combo in the world and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you have all those things. But then there's like, you can go too far in either direction right there. You know, you can mandate, you know, a lifestyle that means I'm trying to give you the Rubik's Cube because I want you to be productive and, you know, and think and things like this. It's like, they are a baby as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain level of like, hang on a minute, like what am I doing here? They're not looking for life guidance right now.
I just want some.
It's fascinating.
Cooler cordial, and I just want to have a good time.
Yeah. This was fun. We did the live thing again. So, because we're live, we do have the opportunity to be in touch with the audience. Like, that's another added benefit. People can chime in, say some stuff, you know, skedaddle.
And we can give them live news as well.
Earlier on in the pod, Strident Wookie said that Faker needs to jump on for some ARAMs, and I couldn't agree more. I think that ARAMs, just to sort of go into this a bit, should be...
What's ARAM stand for?
All
Is
random,
that an acronym?
all mid.
Oh,
so it's one lane,
right.
It's 5 random champs, v 5 random champs, and I think it should be done at the competitive level. Because you like when commentators get excited, right? Imagine the lobbies. They're like, look at this team, this random team that they've just rolled is unstoppable. They've got a Sejuani, they've got the Gragas, they've fucking got this. Like, they would go off in character select because it's all random. And then they would be like, is he going to roll? Is he going to roll for the Echo? Is he going to roll for the Echo? They got the Echo! They got the fucking Echo! This is a wrap! This is a wrap! This is a wrap! It would get so
at the pro
exciting.
level, it's all going to be decided in team comp.
No,
like, so yeah, you can roll, but you don't know what you're going to get. So you roll and you get like I don't know what's poor in ARAM. What's a poor champ? Like a Shen maybe, because the mobility is not as important.
Shen's top 10.
No, but like I think one of his big advantages is he can like teleport across the map with his.
There are people whose ults get nullified by ARAM or
Vel'Koz gets a bit of a negative.
Oh no, I'm just talking about like Talia, for example, just casts a big wall that she can surf on as her ult. Like, is that handy in ARAM? Not particularly. It can be handy in very specific circumstances, but for the majority, it doesn't feel very important. You can use it to cross the entire map, you know, if you were doing it another way. That sort of stuff would happen, and just the pros, man, like watching character select, them swapping them around, everyone gets 2 rolls a game. It would be exciting.
I just think that it would be too predictable about the outcome.
The reason why they don't want to do it is because it would be too damn successful and it will kill ranked. and that's what they're worried about. So that's why they'll never release ranked
And they're
ARAM.
shorter games. They
Yeah.
want viewership. They want long viewing games. The other thing that would be I'll give you this. What would be interesting is that the pro players be forced to do creative builds because they're trying to compensate for
Force?
deficiencies
How do you
in the
force that?
team. Well, if you in the pro play, the commentators get excited if
Off-meta stuff.
they use
Yeah.
one item off meta. If they go like, oh my god, he's like build a rage blade, like that's the rest of the build is standard. It's like very they do very optimized builds.
Well, they probably would do that still. They would probably do that intuitively with
no,
ARAM.
but they might not have much magic damage in a team, so they'll play Misfortune AP. Because they don't have so I like that. That's good.
Yeah, that does happen quite a lot.
They have to have some flexibility.
That does happen quite a lot in ARAM.
Yes.
Like
but you don't get AP lobbies. Misfortune in pro play. Yeah.
No, you don't. I've had lobbies where we've used all our roles and we don't have a tank, and we're like, well, we don't have a tank, and then we're praying that they don't have a tank either. So we're like, it's even. But that in pro play, can you imagine it? They're like, they've used 10 rolls. They haven't got a tank. This is really bad. That'd be really fun. And I don't need pro play. I just want me to be able to view it.
Do we have any viewers right now?
No, not right now. I don't think so.
I was going to say that person, if there was one, because they're missing out on the actual news. I could tell them what's going on.
What, in 2014?
No, right now, like in the news, because I could save them the hassle, the time,
the click.
But then I'm having a click around and I can't find anything interesting. So
that'll be all, and we'll drop the banner next week.
Well, next week I'll talk about evidence of life on another planet.
All right, that sounds good. Thanks for stopping by. We have always, tried our best to have a good time. We're trying to have a good time. Hope you had a good time.
I did, thank you. Are you talking to me or them?
I'm talking to you as well.
Yeah.
Talking to everyone.
Everyone have a good time.
Have a good time, please, if you would. And we will be back sort of similar time, same place next week. See you then.
Excellent. Bye.